corporations these days are always hiding what they're doing. Always hiding, you know? Like big breakthroughs, big innovations in how they offer their products or their services, what their pricing schemes are. It's crazy to imagine, but stuff like that used to be a lot more above board because corporations were proud of it, you know? Oh, you get a free soda with your meal, do you? How interesting. You know, it used to be at the very least like, I mean, obviously these schemes are always done to benefit the company. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's not mutually beneficial. There are things companies can do that increase their profits while also improving the quality of experience of the customer. That's not like crazy. That's how they used to get ahead, you know? Or it's one of the ways. At the very least, it used to be more common. Nowadays, it's all this back-end techno scheming surveillance bullshit, and they are always so cagey about it. They're always so afraid of admitting what they're doing, like they're hiding it, they're embarrassed of it. I mean, they should be afraid. Oh yeah, Uber pricing is super fucky. Yeah, of course. You make the pricing system completely opaque, so you have no way of predicting ahead of time how much something will cost. You've run all the taxis out of business, so the taxis' reliable pricing scheme is no longer available as an alternative. You know, you're pretty much forced into Uber or Lyft or whatever else. So now the only time people ever use Uber is when they're forced to. They open it up and they go, oh my God, $52? Just to get downtown? Fuck, I guess I have no choice. And that's how Uber makes their money now. Everything is always getting worse. To play a bit of devil's advocate, some of Uber's dynamic pricing is basically just supply and demand. Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like what you're describing, supply and demand, it's also how scalping works. It's also how surge pricing works. It's just socially harmful if every business always has the ability to charge you the maximum amount possible for anything that you would be willing to buy. Like, society is not improved if when there's a flood and people are desperate for clean water, you go to the grocery store and all the water now costs 20 times as much. That doesn't improve. Like, people could argue in a vacuum, well, by increasing the price, you're actually making sure only the people who want it the most can get it. Well, no, you're making sure the people who can afford it the most can get it. You're not improving society, man. You're just price gouging. And there are laws against this, you know, against price gouging. But it doesn't matter. I mean, in practice, this stuff is happening on a microscopic level absolutely everywhere all the time. Isn't this just capitalism? Not necessarily. I mean, yes, obviously it is, but capitalism doesn't necessarily require all prices to be gouged. We're finding ways of making it worse. You know, we're taking a system that is ripe for abuse and we're abusing it further. I wish I'd never been conceived the void was better. Listen, pussy is still really good. And like ass, if you're into that, okay? Don't get lame here, all right? Remember, things were worse in Cyberpunk 2077, but people were still having fun, okay? Just, we gotta, yeah, there's like pizza, but is this not just the oldest capitalist story in the book? Look, for capitalism is about the relationship that people have to the means of production. It's about the material relationship that different classes of people have to the ability to produce things, you know? This is an element, but this is an element of it that is being expanded massively through technology. It used to be price gouging was really obvious when it happened, you know? You could immediately identify it. But thanks to modern technology, it is now possible to engage in a mass scheme of constant near invisible price gouging, which means that something that has been widely described as evil, something that's largely illegal, right, can now happen invisibly without public critique or legal intervention. So what can we do about this? Spend carefully, save money, don't spend on shit you don't need, don't use Instacart, don't use DoorDash, don't use Uber. Plan your life, live diligently, live frugally, be careful, be smart, exercise, buy rice and beans, and always, always, always be class conscious. Because as time goes on, the world is going to be sucked dry more and more by these parasites, and public sentiment is going to grow, and people are going to get angrier, and we need people to be directed appropriately. People need to have the right response, the right engagement when that happens, you know?